Hello and welcome to VOA's Red Carpet. My name is Jackson Mvunganyi. This week on the Red Carpet, we pay tribute to the late great Malian master of the Kora, Toumani Dibate. In Ghana, artists are advocating for the restoration and repatriation of looted artifacts. We'll chat with Ethiopian artist Toumani, who's using his art to explore themes of identity, culture, and tradition. Those stories plus, we check out the story of a Nigerian inventor that is using green energy. Let's get on with the show. And let's start off with some sad news. The recent passing of Malian griot Toumani Dibate, master of the Kora, a traditional 21-stringed instrument. The 58-year-old died of kidney complications in Bamako. Heather Maxwell, the host of VOA's Music Time in Africa, talks to us about the legacy of the 71st generation Kora player.
Toumani Dibate was arguably the greatest Kora player ever. He was 71 generations of griot Kora players. That means that from father to son, this tradition of playing this 21-string majestic instrument has been passed down. And he was really known for spreading the Kora around the world and exploring the way the Kora can be played in other music traditions, not even African, Caribbean, Chinese, all worldwide. He made the Kora an instrument that many musicians around the world could play with and relate to. And he was a nice person. I knew him. And I lived in Mali for many years, off and on, since the late 80s. And I think it was in 2000, I would hang out at his club. He had a restaurant called the Hogon in Bamako.
Ghanaian artists are advocating for the restoration of the African cultural heritage through permanent repatriation of looted artifacts. By highlighting the cultural significance of African royal umbrellas, Ghanaian-American artist Rita Mawena Benisan aims to inspire more conversations on the importance of African history and identity. Sinanu Todd has the report from Accra in Ghana.
In her creative studio in Accra, Rita Mawena Benisan is remaking royal umbrellas. In public settings, Ghanaian chiefs sit under these umbrellas, and the golden totems and relics show their level of authority. The details are in their designs, and that's what Benisan is showing through her exhibitions.
The royal umbrella kind of comes to play on how it's an object that is seen as a protector object, but it's also an object that showcases power and hierarchy.
Raised and trained in the United States, Benisan is committed to showcasing African heritage through arts. She collects archives of films, photographs, documents, and artifacts of African culture for her foundation Sihene, which translates the making of a chief in Twi, a language spoken in southern and central Ghana. Benisan says her challenge is accessing these materials on the continent itself.
How does a student who's Ghanaian American, coming back home, have less access of these photos, visuals, artifacts in Ghana, but in the States or in Europe has more access to it?
Ghanaian historian Osebonsu Safo-Kantanka says about 90% of African cultural heritage artifacts are located outside the continent. He says they were looted during the colonial era.
They are not just arts. They are of spiritual significance, economic significance, social and moral significance.
Advocates have been calling on the return of these artifacts back to their original countries and rightful owners. This year, Ghana's Ashanti Kingdom saw the return of artifacts from the United States and the United Kingdom. The Fowler Museum at the University of California in Los Angeles returned 7 royal artifacts to the Menchia Palace Museum in Kumasi permanently, while the British Museum and Victoria and Albert Museum sent back 32 items, including gold peace pipes and a 300-year-old sword. But the items were returned on loan. Locals say they want a permanent return.
It sounds incomprehensible because it was taken from here. You have no idea how they were made. you came in as armed robbers and took it away. So if you have realized that it's mine and you're bringing it back, it is a matter of just giving it back. But you say it's law.
Historical practices of claiming spoils of war complicate the permanent return of artifacts. Safo Kantanka says a legislative order from the UK is needed for museums to return artifacts permanently. In the meantime, Benison hopes that her umbrella exhibitions could create more awareness and spark conversation about the importance of restitution.
When people walk into a museum, when people walk into a gallery space, they're seeing these umbrellas, they're seeing these totems, they're seeing the stools, the thrones. Literally, many of the elements of the regalias that are used within the chieftaincy is in their forefront. So we're not hidden. We're literally right in people's faces, and which is also like a call to action to say, no, you cannot hide us.
Benison has held exhibitions in other parts of Africa and Europe and plans to organize more, hoping to boost her own career as well as the push to bring African artifacts back home. Sena Anutod, VOA News, Accra, Ghana.
World-renowned Ethiopian visual artist Akelu Temesgen uses Ethiopian Telsem and Kitab art forms to explore themes of identity, culture, and tradition. The Washington-based DC visual artist tells me that his paintings are a blend of contemporary techniques with traditional West African and East African motifs, with the intention of creating narratives that invoke a sense of connection to the past, both as a way to create a dialogue between the two time periods, but also address social issues. Let's check it out. Akelu creates his art in an upstairs studio in Washington, D.C., where he shares the space with fellow artists. He greets me warmly, proudly displaying both his completed pieces and those still in progress. He explains that his latest exhibit, titled Resonant Futures: Navigating the Now, is a reflection of the connections between the diverse cultural influences, past and present, that have shaped his worldview.
I am from Ethiopia, from Africa, so currently residing in the United States and, trying to live within this culture at the same time thinking about my own culture, my past. So it's like trying to connect these two. And to have an idea, that's where the exhibition also lies on. In my artwork, I am trying to, study and also know more about the traditional Ethiopian paintings, the scrolls, magic scrolls. So I'm trying also to use those elements, those knowledge, into my current artwork that reflects me at this time, When I do it, it will be mine. At the same time, it reflects my time. So it's a kind of a process where I am still trying to know more about it, research more about it, and I'm still experimenting. Mostly I use canvas and I use acrylic painting because it's also a medium that dries fast. So I try to use those elements, but I also try to use different kinds of materials. Most symbols that I use in my artworks are from Ethiopian paintings, the scroll magics, so the Ethiopian alphabet, and mostly I also use, the African masks, so how those elements are used, and still that I am searching and using those elements, to express myself. The title of this painting is The Angel Face, and it depicts, it's acrylic on canvas, which is made in 2019. And, this is one of the series that I'm working, trying to study the Ethiopian traditional art, the motifs, and what I've been is using on that element. So I am trying to depict this is the face, the angel face from one of the Ethiopian traditional paintings, so that I can use it, trying to express myself using my own color. And also you can see the numbers that are written. So these are really related with Ethiopian traditional painting.
According to the International Energy Agency, an estimated 600 million people in Africa, or 43% of the continent's total population, do not have access to electricity. In Africa's largest country, Nigeria, although electricity has been generated for more than a century, its infrastructure development remains slow and its power generation and distribution is inadequate. It is said that necessity is the mother of invention. Here is the story of a Nigerian who embodies this motto. VOA's Timothy Obiezu met him in Abuja. Check it out.
28-year-old Martin Dibate has managed his barbershop in Abuja for nearly 4 years. But like hundreds of other businesses in this market, his shop is not connected to the grid, and the alternative has become too expensive after government removed subsidies on petrol last year.
Lights no day for here, and even to buy the fuel to use in the afternoon to buy people, the fuel have cost. You know, if you buy 1 liter now, buy 1 liter 700, can't they buy person for 200, 300?
Martin Dibate relies on battery-powered clippers to get by, but the business is still struggling. Nigeria has been struggling with low power generation and distribution for decades, but these challenges are proving to lead to innovations like Reginald Bamiji's green energy generator system, equipped with a self-charging battery processor. Reginald believes that his innovation could help solve power problems for Martin Dibate and many others in his situation.
What this processor does is that it takes little energy from the main energy and then take it to the external battery. Then it charge and then store energy for you there. Now, when the power depletes or the batteries depletes and you can no longer use it, and there is no NEPA to charge it, just like an inverter battery system, there's no wind to charge it, there's no solar to charge it. This system comes handy. It charges back your battery immediately.
61-year-old Reginald Bamiji has been an innovator for more than 20 years. He powers his home with his technology and recently went into partnership with an Italian company. The firm is helping him build a newer model of his invention and will split the profit when it enters the market to commercialize it. Reginald has also developed an electric car using a similar principle.
In Italy now, they have reproduced this same one we have here, but it's more beautiful than what we have because it's a manufacturing company. We are going into agreement. Actually, I have desired that this thing be in Africa, in Nigeria, but I have no option because of so much disbelief or some kind of people don't want to believe something that comes within their own country.
In February this year, Nigeria's Innovation Ministry pledged to support local inventions and drive economic growth and solve problems. Although authorities did not disclose how much assistance they have pledged or given already, they said the ministry would create a conducive environment for the commercialization of local inventions. Reginald Bamiji says he has presented his invention to government officials several times, but they have shown no interest or support. He says unless authorities fulfill their promises, consistent and affordable electricity will remain out of reach for millions of Nigerians. Timothy Obiezu, VOA News, Abuja, Nigeria.
Thank you for watching VOA's Red Carpet. I'm Jackson Mvunganyi. For more entertainment news, remember to check us out at voaafrica.com. We're also on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube. Don't forget to like, to share, and to subscribe. Until next time, goodbye, everyone.